Hey everybody, welcome back to Life as a Highway. Today I got a couple more DIY projects. I'm not going to call them a how-to, I'm going to call them a how-I. So what we're doing is we're going to replace this refrigerator, this Domatic refrigerator, what they call it, absorption unit, anhydrous ammonia. These things, as you know, they're not efficient. If you're not level, they don't work well. They don't have a lot of storage inside of them. So what we did is we bought from Gander Outdoors, I will say they're on sale, so you might want to take a look at them. We bought a Furrion 10 cubic foot, 12 boat compressor refrigerator. Done some research on them. There is some questions in them, but from what I've seen, they're really worth the money. The RV doesn't have to be perfectly level. You can run it going down the road on your house battery. You don't have to have your generator running, and you know it's illegal to operate with your propane. A lot of people do it, but it is illegal in almost every state to have your propane on. So what we're going to do is we're going to tackle this project. It doesn't look too difficult. We will have to make some minor changes on the inside because it is taller, but the Furrion it's the same depth, but because you don't have this absorption unit on the back of it, you'll see it here in just a minute, it allows you to have more depth in your refrigerator. You have way more capacity, and you also have better control of your temperatures. These things right here, as you know, they're hard to maintain. Either the freezer's too hot and you freeze everything in the refrigerator, or vice versa, or it's just we're ready. We're absolutely ready to get rid of this thing. But anyway, we've already started. All you have to do is we've removed the 110 plug. We removed the hot and the ground wire to the 12 bolt. We have the gas line. We just simply need to remove the gas line, because I'm going to remove the gas line completely and plug it off. A lot of people are plugging it off up here, but I want it gone. Yes. Okay, now we're inside. We're going to remove this, and this is pretty simple. It's got two little clips here. I don't know if you can see. You take a screwdriver and just pop it in, and it releases the clip. And that is it. All right, this tape right here, just remove it. Now you got a screw here, and then you have a screw here, and there should be right there, one right here. Okay, the other one is we're going to take this shelf. We're going to take this shelf out, and to remove the parts on the back, we're going to take all these screws right here out. This is actually what holds part of the evaporation unit on the back. So we'll remove these, and then when we're able to get it out, we'll lay it down and take the corners out. The whole assembly will just come right off this box. Okay, so it's easier to handle. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the doors. There's two doors. Get this out the way. If y'all want this refrigerator, it's free. Okay, I did find a mounting screw, so you can get it close up. A mounting screw right here and a screw right here on the bottom of the refrigerator. So if your refrigerator doesn't want to slide out, take a look in them two corners right there. There were two long screws kind of shot in at an angle. So make sure you get those. Okay, we're going to start working the refrigerator out just so we can get our hands on it. Just take your time. As you can see, it's moving pretty easily now. just FYI, this refrigerator weighs probably a little over 100 pounds. And now what I have to do is just remove the sheet metal screws here on the corner. They look like they're 5/16. So we should be able to remove those. And this right here will literally come off. And then this will just go right out the door. Okay, I did miss some. There's 4 screws. I had to take those out to get the coil off the back. So we got those out, so we should be able to remove it. Oh, this is also the heavy part. Now we have a lot of cleaning up to do and prep for the new one. So we're going to get all this cleaned up. We'll get the new refrigerator unboxed, give you little specs on it, and then we'll start installing it. So be right back. Okay, the refrigerator we bought, it's the same width and it's the proper depth, but it's also taller. So what we're going to do, we have a little small cabinet up here, and we're going to remove the door, and we're going to remove this piece right here. This will allow the refrigerator to come in, and then once it fits, we will decide, we'll take a piece of this, anything that's left over that'll fit, and trim that back in. But right now we need to remove this so we can slide the refrigerator in, and like I said, just trim that back out. Okay. Okay, I got the old gas line removed. Told you I wanted it completely gone, and there is a multi-port block underneath there for all the gas lines, so all we have to do is put a plug in that. So let's get that done. Okay, I'm under the RV, and if you can see right here, this is a valve block that allows you to put multiple ports on your gas line. You can see I removed the gas line from this location, and I have a plug that I'm going to put in. And while I'm tightening it up, like I said, I wanted the gas line completely gone. This is a lot safer than just having a line laying there. But this is also, if you were thinking about installing an outdoor or gas grill on that, this would be where you would need to connect your gas line to, because you see right here there's an additional port, but you're also removing this one. And what this block does is the main line is over here, and then you have your stove, you had the refrigerator, and you have your furnace and your water heater. Okay, that's it. We need to turn the gas on and air and bubble test this with some soap solution to make sure there's no leaks. But if you notice, this Teflon that I use is blue. This is a gas approved, gas rated Teflon tape. Don't use the white tape. Make sure the tape that you use is approved for gas usage. That's it. Okay, we're ready to run the wires to the refrigerator, and what I did is I ran a piece of 1/2 inch PVC flex conduit. I was able to use the gas line hole when we ran the solar panel. I did have to drill another hole. I couldn't quite get the number 8 and number 10 wires to the 1/2 inch, so I had to run another piece of conduit, but it wasn't no big deal. We just drilled a hole and we ran this straight over to the battery box. So now we just need to push the wires through and make the connections on the battery. Remember, do not put the fuse in your links until you're ready to connect, because you will have a hot wire here. But you can go ahead and run your wires, and you can go ahead and hook them up to the battery, but just pull the blade fuse out before you make any connections on the other end. So let's get the wire pushed through. Okay, just a real quick note here before we pull any cables loose. We already have our solar panel connected, so you want to make sure you de-energize your solar panel before you remove it from the battery. So remove the positive side of your solar panel off your charge controller, and then you can start removing your wires. Now make sure that your house is not, make sure the motorhome is not plugged into 110 power, and also make sure you disconnect the main source for your battery. You don't want any issues. So we've got everything turned off. Now we're ready to disconnect, and we're ready to start connecting our wires that we're going to run to our refrigerator. Pull the red wire back. Stop. Okay, we got everything hooked back up, and we got our fusible link in. And remember to pull the blade fuse while you're getting the refrigerator and everything hooked up. You don't want any power going up there. But we also installed our fusible link for our solar panel. Anytime that you have a hot wire connected, you want to put the fusible link as close to the battery as you can, because anything, if it's shorted out anything past this, it was going to burn the wire all the way back. So be sure that you connect the fusible link as close to the battery as possible, and this fusible link goes to our solar panel for the hot wire headed over that way. So everything's done, and all we got to do now is slide the refrigerator in and then make the connection to the back. Okay, as you can see, we got the refrigerator in and we got it slid in place. I want you to know we had intended to do all this without removing the door. We got everything out and everything was fine, but when we got the new refrigerator in, it was literally just a ½ an inch too wide from going through the door, so we had to remove the door to get it in. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I just want to let you know ahead of time, you might as well go ahead and remove it from the beginning. It's still a lot easier to get the other refrigerator out. We're taking the back out, but all we got to do, like I said, we put the trim kit on. And I want to tell you about the trim as well. If you order one of these refrigerators, make sure that you tell them to order or send the trim kit, because it took about 2 weeks to get the refrigerator in, and then they didn't ship the trim kit. I think a lot of customers have had this problem where they forgot to send this trim kit, so insist that they put it with the order. It'll be 2 boxes, and then we had to wait another week to get the trim kit in. So it took about almost 3 weeks to get the stuff into the house where we could do this. But anyway, we're ready. All we have to do is we got to put the screws in the bottom, in the top, and then we have a plate to put on the bottom. We'll put the screws in there, and then we connect the wires in the back, and this dude's ready. So let's get those in. Okay, the refrigerator is done, it's installed. Now we got to go out and just connect the wires. Now, I can't get over how much more space this refrigerator has. You can see up here, I forgot to show this, where we took that shelf out. I just moved that bottom piece up and put a piece of paneling behind it. That came out really good. We got a couple of those screw holes from the hinges I'll have to fill in with putty, but that looks really nice. It's just, I think it's maybe 4 inches taller, but that's amazing how much more room this has, taking that evaporation unit off the back. Anyway, let's go outside and we'll get the wires hooked up and we'll get her running. Okay, black to black, red to red, and you have a chassis ground here. We'll have to do that as well. All right. I took the back off so I could look at it. They said there was a hidden fuse in here, an inline fuse that was giving people problems. I don't see it. And that I took this little box here off and looked inside. Didn't see it in there. Could be in here. I'm actually going to look into this before I put this cover back on, because I want to make sure we correct that problem, but they may have already done it. This is a transformer right here. It's a 12 volt 24 DC transformer, so we'll take a look here and look around. If I find it, I'll make sure I'll point it out. All right, the cover's on. One last thing, this floor was not exactly great, so I put a shim underneath this roller to get the refrigerator nice and level in the back as well, so it didn't kind of teeter-totter. We got the front level, but if the back is not perfect level, just shim up the roller area and put a little glue on it just to hold it in place. But anyway, we are done. All we got to do now is put the fuse in it and test to make sure that we got everything works good. I do got to run the chassis ground, but it'll work without the chassis ground. But anyway, and then we'll put the cover back on, and we are finished for this project. Okay, we got our 15 amp blade fuse, and we're going to put that in. Now we have power. This refrigerator is ready to go. Okay, it's been a couple hours, and I put a water bottle in here. Let's see. Look at that. That is froze solid. You know, we'd have to turn our refrigerator on the day before just to get it to cool off. I like the light too. It's blue. It's cool. But anyway, that's going to complete this project. And if you're interested in one of these refrigerators, I'm going to say recommend it. Right now we don't know exactly sure what the reliability is, but we'll find out over time, and I will come back and I will give y'all a review on this. But so far, this is a winner. Okay, that completes that project. I want to thank everybody for watching. We spent a little more time taking all the old stuff out than we did putting the new stuff in. Now, the video's kind of chopped up because we were intended to do this without removing the door. My intentions were to show you how to get the old stuff out because it's a lot wider. It will not go through the door. However, the new refrigerator was a ½ inch too wide, so we did have to remove the door after all. But anyway, we're a new channel. I really hope y'all enjoy these videos. We're learning as we go. Give us a thumbs up if you would, and it's also hit that subscribe button. It really helps us. But until the next time, we got another video coming out that we're going to explain all this DIY stuff and why we're doing it. So that'll come out next, right after this one. And I really appreciate y'all watching once again. But anyway, God bless, and I hope to see you on the road.